Hi, my name is Bill, and today I'm going to show you how to replace the Gearcase oil seal on your washer. The reason why I might have to do this is because it's lost or damaged, or because it's leaking oil. For this repair, you'll need a Phillips head screwdriver, a Flathead screwdriver, a spanner wrench, a hammer, a pair of channel locks, a pair of pliers, a ratchet with extensions, and a 7/16 socket, a 1/2 inch socket, and a 3/4 inch socket, and some lube. For this one, we're using a silica type lube. Warning: before doing any repairs, please disconnect your power source. So this is our washer here. It's a KitchenAid, and this is what we're going to use for our repairs. Keep in mind yours might be a little bit different at home, but the same techniques should still apply. Now we're going to grab a pair of channel locks, and we're going to remove the water hoses. Make sure before removing the water hoses that you do turn off the water, and when you take the water hoses off, just keep in mind there might be some water still in the lines. So now we're going to remove our drain hose. We're just going to use a pair of pliers, pinch that clamp in, move it up, and pull the drain hose off. Keep in mind there still might be some water in there, so keep a towel or something handy nearby, or a bucket to drain that into. We're going to take a Phillips head screwdriver and remove the 2 screws holding the control panel on the front side. And now we're going to have to remove the other 2 screws on the back, again with our Phillips head screwdriver. And now that you've got those 2 screws off, you can remove your control panel. It should just pull right up. Just push forward, pull it right up. I'm going to start by taking off our air pressure hose. We'll remove each of these wires. Right, now we're just going to pinch this clip, pull this one out, and now we'll get our flathead screwdriver and remove the grounding wire. And I'm just going to put the screw back in there so that we remember what hole it was in, just to make everything a little bit easier. Alright, now we just have to remove this. There's clips on both sides. Now we just pinch the clips in and pull the wires out. There we go. Now that all the wires are unhooked, we can set the front control board off to the side. Next, I'm just going to remove these 2 wires here. So it's got a clip on it. Pinch that and pull that out. And this wire here, there's a little tab on it. You just pull the tab up and pull it out. So pull that out. And now I'm just going to put the screw back in, just so we remember where it's supposed to go. There we go. And the last 2 screws we got to take out are down here at the bottom. Now we've got the clips here, and we're going to undo this. Just with our screwdriver, we're pulling it forward and it pops right out. Same thing with this one. Take our screwdriver and that'll pop right out. I'm just going to take these clips, set them off to the side so they don't fall anywhere and don't get lost. Take these out too. Just set them off to the side. And now I'm just going to pull up, tilt this back, and now come right out. Alright, so with the panel off now, take this tube off, Now we'll get our pliers, grab the clamp. There we go. And now the hose will come off just by wiggling it a bit. And we can lay the panel down so it's out of the way. Now we're going to take off this part of the agitator. There's a small cap in here. We'll take that out as well. And now there's a bolt holding this down, which we'll take out next. Now we can pull this right out. So we're going to get our spanner wrench. We've got 4 little notches that'll line up with the holes there. We've got a hammer because it's going to be tight and you're not going to be able to get it by hand. So we're going to take the hammer and just tap it a couple of times to loosen it. We're going to go counterclockwise. Now that we've got it loosened, we can just undo the rest by hand. And pull that right out. Alright, so now we're going to undo the clips holding the tub ring on. There we go. And we can set this off to the side here. Alright, now normally you should be able to pull the tub right out, but in our case we've got a bit of corrosion all around the ring here, holding the inner tub to this shaft. So I'm just gonna work my way around with a screwdriver. And we're gonna get as much corrosion as I can, and hopefully that'll loosen up the tub and I'll be able to pull it out. Now we've got that corrosion cleaned out a bit. Pull the inner tub right out. Next thing I'm going to do is I want to pinch in on this tab right here so we can remove the clip off of our motor. And now I'm going to unplug all the wires here. And we're just going to set that off to the side here, out of our way. So now I'm going to be tilting this back. And since it's got no frame, it's going to be a little bit awkward. But we're just going to tilt it back on its side here. There we go. And now we're going to remove the clips for this pump here. We're going to use our screwdriver, pry it up, and then we'll pull this tab out. Same thing on the other side. And turn it 90 degrees and pull the tab out. Now we can pull the pump straight out, and we'll just move that off to the side here for us. And we'll do the same thing with these clips. We're just going to undo those clips and pull them off as well. And we're just going to use our screwdriver, pry it up, and we're going to pull this clip out. Same thing on this one. Use a screwdriver to pry it right off. And then turn it 90 degrees so you can pull it out. Now we're going to take our ratchet again, and with a 1/2 inch socket, we're going to remove 3 bolt holes. And just get it loose and spin it the rest of the way out. Now we can take the motor off, and we can get the grommet that's sitting right here, put that back on the motor where it's supposed to go. We'll set this off to the side. Now we can pull this whole assembly off. So the next thing I have to do is I have to remove the mounting plate on here. We've got a 1/2-inch socket. There we go. There we go. That'll pop right off. So that's our old oil seal. Now you can grab your new OEM replacement oil seal. If you don't have one already, you can find one on our online store. Alright, so in the package it's got 2 seals. That one's not the right size though, it's going to be this one. So what we're going to do to have it go in a little bit easier is we're going to put some of this silica lubricant on it. Just rub that on the inside there. And rub them on the outside. Just so it'll all slide on nice and easy. So now I'm going to use a 3/4 socket. Now I'm going to use my hammer and just pound that down the rest of the way so it's nice and tight. There we go. Alright, so we've got this little piece right here, the triangle that we took off earlier. We're going to put that back on. And that will just press right on, nice and tight by hand. And use this end of the hammer to tap it in a little bit more. Alright, now we're going to put the mounting plate back on. Now we'll get our ratchet with a 1/2-inch socket on it. We'll tighten that up. Alright, there we go. So we're going to line up the bolt holes the best we can as we're pushing it on. And we've got it locked into place. So now we can put the bolts back on. Go. So we're going to put this back on. Make sure when you tip it, none of the grommets fall back off. They have a tendency to do that sometimes. And we're going to line everything up here. And you can spin this just a little bit to line up a little rubber piece on the bottom as well. And once you've got everything lined up properly, it should all just fall right on in. There we go. Now we're going to grab our motor clips and we're going to slide them into the slots. Turn it 90 degrees once it's in. And clip it right on. Same thing on the bottom. Slide it into the slot here. Turn it 90 degrees. And clip it back on. Then we'll do the same thing with this pump. Put our tube back through here. So make sure everything's lined up and it'll slide back on. And we'll grab those retaining clips, insert it into the tab into the slot, and then clip it back on. Turn it 90 degrees and clip it back on. So now we're just going to take the anchor here, slide it back up through, and that's clicked back into place. And these wires we'll put back in just how they were before. And now we'll clip the rest of the harness back into this spot. There we go. And then we'll put the rest of it back together. Now I'm going to put this on the inside here. And we can put everything else back together, starting with the cover ring. Put that on And now we can lock the tabs down. There we go. I'll grab our spanner nut. We'll put that in there. We'll grab our wrench and tighten it clockwise. Then we'll grab the bottom half of our agitator. And we'll push that down. And grab the top half of our agitator. Push this plastic in. If it comes up, just make sure everything lines up. Then it'll go down nice and smooth. Then we'll take our socket with the ratchet. Tighten that back up. And once the agitator starts spinning, just grab the bottom to hold it while you tighten it the rest of the way. Then you'll put this cap back in. Put the liquid soap dispenser back in. Alright, so now to put this all back together, we'll start with the frame again. Just make sure that the bottom is lined up with the little tabs and everything just slides right in. And we'll grab the drain tube, slide that back on, grab our pliers, pinch on the clamp, and slide that down as much as we can. There we go. And that'll give us a nice tight seal again. And we'll take our air hose, and we'll put that back right in here. Okay, so we're going to lift this up, and we're going to line up the bottom clips here and slide those clips in. Make sure that's on its clips like it's supposed to be. There we go. That's back on the clips. And we can push this in all the way. And we can start to screw everything back together. Screw in the bottom ones first. So now we're going to take our clips that we set off to the side earlier. And we're going to push that back in. And same thing with this one. Now I want to put the control panel hinges back in, which we also set off to the side. And now we can hook it back up again. And we'll plug in a couple of wires here. We'll plug these ones in together, just like that. And now we're going to feed this back through here. Just take the screw out. Pull that all the way through. And we'll put that back on. Okay. And now we can plug our control board back in. And we'll put this guy right in here. And next, we'll put our grounding wire back in. Take this off. And here's our grounding wire. Now we can plug this in right here. And our air pressure switch right back in here. Now we'll sit back up, line up the little tabs here into the slots, and at the same time we also want to make sure that the back panel is underneath the control panel. Okay, now everything's all lined up, and we can screw back the hinges. So now we'll just line the hinges up with the hole and screw it back in. Now we can turn this back around and get our last 2 screws in. Alright, and now we can hook everything back up. We're going to put our drain hose back on. And to do that, we're simply going to squeeze the clamp, move it up a bit. We're going to attach this back to the connection here. And once that's pushed all the way down, we'll get our pliers again. Grab that clamp and wiggle it down. And now we've got a nice secure connection. And now we're going to screw our water hoses back on. Make sure you've got your hot going to your hot and your cold going to your cold. On this model, it's labeled C and H. Once you got that screwed on nice and tight, grab your channel locks and tighten it the rest of the way. And we'll do the same thing for the other one. And then we can turn our washer back around, hook everything back up, and your repair is complete. Finally, don't forget to plug in your appliance. If you need to replace any parts for your appliances, you can find an OEM replacement part on our website, PCApplianceRepair.com. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to like, comment, and share our video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us make more videos just like these for you to watch for free.